So what you're about to see, Trans Am Worldwide's tribute to the 1970 Chevelle. We call it the 70 SS.
Oh, wow.
When you try to replicate an old car on a new platform, it is difficult because you're dealing with different dimensions, different geometry, and then you always fight that, okay, do we make it an interpretation of that because it is new? This one had to be as close to the original as humanly possible on a new platform and have the right proportions. Voila.
Well, growing up, I grew up in the 60s, the 70s, the 80s. I grew up in the heat of the muscle car. There were family members of mine who had some great cars, great engines, who spent time working on their cars. And the thing about it is, you hear today and you see like all these electric cars and stuff like that, honestly, no offense, but I think they're garbage because basically they're taking away the strength, the power of what the vehicle is to just save on gas. They're not using gas, they're using battery power, electricity, which basically you're not getting away from the pollution. You're creating a new pollution, or you're creating a pollution that basically will expand on that and not realize that what you had before was a lot better than what's being produced today. And there is one company that is making a limited edition muscle car, and let me tell you, looking at it, it's a beauty. But before we start, don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, share. Thank you for those tuning in. We do appreciate that. Happy New Year. 2023 is here. We have a lot going on. These are the stories that we're carrying right now, a little bit of leftovers from 2022. We just want to clear the palate because there's a lot coming this year. Porn on trial. We have several court cases on there. We also have Sonny Stitch's manslaughter trial going on. Hopefully should have started, the pre-trial should have started by now. And a lot other stories that are going on that some of them you probably not hearing much about. This happens to be one of them. And like I said, we don't talk about cars on this show. There are some great auto enthusiasts out there that do have great content channels on there. I do recommend them. I mean, there's one guy who's he's been rebuilding the kit car from Knight Rider and the truck and everything like that, trying to restore them. And he's found the truck. I think he's found the back end of it, which that he's been looking for as well, of the truck, and they're putting that all back together again, which is a good thing. And then many other car shows. And the thing about it is, you say, well, I can watch that on cable and that. No, there's some great ones out there. Check it out on YouTube and other social media platforms that go really in depth. That it's not this commercialized auto shows that are out there. That this is just the real in-depth programming. Now, when I was growing up, we had the Chevelle, which was a great car too. It's a fantastic car. Well, it seems like that the company that manufactures the Trans Am has introduced a 2024 Chevelle 70/SS. And we're going to read this off of LSX Habazine, which is it's a car enthusiast magazine. It's written by Jeremy Nichols. This happened back in October. We didn't catch on to this until recently on there. Somebody sent this to me, and I didn't know this was going on. The idea of bringing back an iconic name in the automotive industry always conjures images of grandeur, rendering Rampage with modern twists, updated drivetrans, and state-of-the-art suspension. When discussing the titans of the muscle car era, I would think you would agree that the 1970 Chevelle SS is right in the thick of it, and it is a beautiful car. If those of you have seen the 1970 version of this, in terms of the iconic cars that have changed the way we look at motorized transportation, sadly the Chevelle name has been gone for 45 years now. But thanks to Trans Am Worldwide, the Chevelle is making a big return in 2024 as the 70/SS. Trans Am Worldwide is currently build, you guessed it, the Trans Am. However, they build the interpret of what Trans Am would be today. Had Pontiac not shuttered by the general to broaden their horizons. They have designed and built from the ground up a car that they believe will live up to the Chevelle name, badged as the 70SS. Trans Am Worldwide took styling cues from the original 1970 model, while at the same time putting their modern interpretations on it. Starting with the new 6th Gen Camaro as the foundation, the designers have completely changed every part of the exterior. The only untouched area was the windshield. As you can see, every body panel has been reshaped to pay homage to the classic 70s Chevelle Super Short. They even stretched the car's rear with new quarter panels, deck lid, and bumpers. The interior remains mostly Camaro. However, the 70SS does receive a retro-style seat and carpeting. The 70SS badging and Hearst Q balls shift knob are also nice touches. If you're going to build a car to bring back the Chevelle, it better not be short on horsepower. The 70SS does an excellent job in this department. You can order the car with one of 3 power plants. The base engine is a 450 horsepower LT1 that comes in the Camaro. If you want more power and excitement, a 396 cubic LT engine producing 900 horsepower can be installed. If there's anything like us wanting to go all in on the 70SS, it can be with a 454 cubic inch LS6 package with twin chargers, top tier offering frying 1500 horsepower. That's a monster in itself. The 70SS is offered both manual and automatic transmission versions, and there are suspension upgrades as well. Just check the box for the optional removable hard top for those wanting to the look of the coupe. 8 heritage colors are available, as well as 10 metallic, pearl, and hues to choose from. You can pick your own custom colors if that's the thing. Additional options: wheel, tire package, custom graphics, exposed carbon filter, and brake upgrades. We can't wait to see what the 70 in the real world pounding the streets. If you're interested in ordering one, you might hurry because there are only 25 examples of the 70SS with the LSX engine produced. Now, for those of you who have the pocket, cost to buy this, this will not be 1970 prices, obviously on there. I believe the V8 version, it will include the 450 HP 6.2 liter V8, will be sticker priced at $150,000. That's a price tag. That's a price tag for style, because that is a beautiful car. I'm glad that they're bringing this back, because basically the muscle car, you have to remember, for those of you too young to know, that are in my viewership, the muscle car was some of the best stuff to come out of the United States of the auto industry. We had some great stuff. Look it up. There are some of them are still on the road today in all various. I had a Brougham years ago, back in the 90s, which was a 1980s Brougham, and she handled the roads nicely. And this was a 4-door coupe. And, you know, I loved it. I loved that car. You know, sadly, I had to give it up because someone decided to wreck it. You know, a friend of mine wrecked the car, believe it or not. And it just, you know, I had to get rid of it. It was a sad day for that. But the thing about it is, a lot of these motors and engines from back then, a lot of people say, well, they weren't fuel efficient. Some of them were. Some of them did very well. And with some of the advancement in some of the motors today, you could make a much stronger muscle car, a much beautiful muscle car out there, just like this one, like the Chevelle. You know, you could bring back some of these old styles back alive again, and people will buy them. I mean, the price tag is high, $150,000. But, you know, if there is a big push to buy these, you're going to see car companies go back to this. They're not going to go with, you know, that electric car model. They're going to go with these gas guzzlers. You've seen the movies. All you got to do is go back and watch some of these old movies that have had some of these great cars in them. You know, these cars, you know, when you watch the Fast and the Furious on there, some of the cars on there are older, and then you have some of the newer ones on there. Those newer ones are nothing compared to the old muscle car. That whole scene in the end of Tokyo Drift, you know, where Diesel shows up in that muscle car, that speed there, what he's driving has some speed. And to see it again out in the open in 2023, you know, the American craftsmanship is still here. We need to teach the next generation how to make these engines, or the art will be lost forever. That's why one of the big things I say this day, shop and home economics has to come back to schools. And this is the reason why. You know, you have things like this, the art of creating engines like this. So remember that. So comment below, tell me your thoughts on that. Do you think this is a good thing for it to come out, a bad thing, or it's just basically a renaissance of these types of cars? This could be, I mean, literally, this could be a renaissance of the 1960s and 70s. You know, these cars are still classics to this day. There are people who are still buying them and restoring them. You can ask guys like Jay Leno, who has a garage full of cars, beautiful cars, old cars restored to brand new, and many others who have done this. We've seen shows online, car shows, that they're restoring cars like this. So let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, share. Thank you for those tuning in. We'll see you on the next video. Thank you, and bye-bye now.